Hey guys, this is Tom Norton here, and today we have a new NASCAR Heat 2 developer diary, and this one is based on the career mode, which we've all been waiting for. And I know that a lot of us, or some of us at least, were quite disappointed about no stats in career mode because one, like if you have all these wins, they won't really count. So I know that my last video did seem like it was disappointment, but let's just get it out of the way now and then move on to the next and see what we have here because this seems a little exciting. And Game Informer has a whole article about the career mode developer diary, which I'll link in the description down below if you want to see more of it. So yeah, I'm gonna read the stuff here and then just give a brief explanation. That's not all. There's about two more images I have to share before we even get to the video itself. So first image in the first part says right here that the career mode starts in the truck series. As you go through your initial season, you'll get a hot seat race offers in the next series that meet the criteria in these. And you, yeah, sorry about bad reading. And you could get an offer to jump up to Xfinity Series at the end of the year. When you accept a contract with the team, you'll take over one of their cars and replace that driver. Overall, there are no driver retirements, and the other series will stay in their series and do not migrate up with you. So, meaning that once you join a team, no drivers are going to be retired, and the drivers will not migrate up to you. So, for example, if Bubba Wallace is in the game, he will not go in the Cup Series in the career mode at all. And I believe that once you take over that driver, I'm sure they'll go back to that series once you move on to a different team and or even a different series. So yeah, the next one is you can race in multiple series at once and even do a multi-series weekend if the schedule aligns, which is realistic, which should be happening because that's something that most Cup Series drivers will do nowadays, and it will make sense. So, which I like that, and you can stay in the same series if you want, which is reasonable and which happens all the time. When Brad Keselowski stopped by the Monster Games office and helped with the team with one big aspect of NASCAR Heat 2, driver rivalries and friendship both are naturally formed how you treat drivers on the track. So if you upset a driver, they will be they will not be happy with you, and if you keep imitating them, intimidating them, sorry, or whatever, they will be more mad at you, and then to the point they'll become your rival, and they'll race aggressive with you. So which is great. Like NASCAR Heat Evolution didn't even have that, and NASCAR and Sideline, NASCAR 15, NASCAR 14 didn't really have that. Dave Thompson said they would have that, but they really didn't. But this one, hopefully, it works out well. All right, now on to the second image. So I'll just go from the top and then read to the bottom like the last one. So first one there, the rivalry system has a ramp up period, so you're not going to see a driver go crazy if you have one running. Tempers will boil over. However, the more you go at it, driver relationships cool off somewhat between seasons, so rivalries and bad feelings between drivers are not permanent, which is realistic. The studio said it wants to make it so large trucks at a play track, for instance, don't make you a bunch of enemies just because you're caught up in a bad wreck or the big one. So, which I see why, because, like, for example, when Tony Stewart wrecked half the field in Talladega 2012, Dale Jr. got a concussion. Was he mad at Tony Stewart? No. Was any other drivers mad at him? Not really. It's called blocking, and shit happens. So I'm just glad that that's out of the way because I wouldn't want to be making enemies just because I got caught in a wreck that I didn't even start in the first place. So the next one is you also get driver feedback from Keselowski and others via a text system. A message system. I don't know why this makes everything confusing. Both as a way to help you and give some other driver flavors to the mode. Messages about your rivalry status with a particular driver pop up after races, which you'll see about the idea in the developer diary video. There's gonna be mad, rival, or neutral, and then the green is gonna be like allies. So the red is gonna be completely rival. But you'll see that in the video, like I said. Um, Monster is currently working on other ways to involve the drivers in your career. I hope they're not gonna say that a driver's just gonna be somehow mad at me and then wreck me for their win, because I would be pissed off. But at the same time, that would be somewhat realistic, just like Logano taking out Kendrick back in Kansas 2015. So there's that. Team momentum is earned by strong finishes at the track from week to week. The idea is your strong performance lift your team members and crew, ultimately giving you stronger and better performing cars. So if you do better throughout the week, the team will give you a better car to race in, so you're not constantly in the back, and maybe you'll have your way to work through the field, in which case it usually happens over time in most drivers' cases in NASCAR. The last one of this image says, in general, the longer you stay with one team, the better the team gets. So, which is, which I see that. Like Martin Truex Jr. had started with a team that really wasn't doing that well, and look where he is today. He's hauling ass now on the track. This allows you to build and improve one of the lower ranked teams in real life. This replaces the last game's facilities upgrade function. Like again, the better you do with the team is gonna do much better in performing, which makes sense. So I like that idea, and that's something that they should definitely have in now, which I like, and that's definitely something that's gonna be really cool in the career mode. Okay, we have the last of this article and the information I screenshotted because I was afraid it would be too big, so I just made this one separate than the last one. So I'll read it and maybe explain. So here we go. NASCAR games have attempted rivalry systems before, and it'll be crucial that the game rides that subtle line between being noticeable and appropriate while not impacting your racing so much that you're getting dumped constantly. Similarly, in the absence of a traditional upgrade system, getting the momentum right and that the feeling that your team is getting is more proficient from season to season is important. Perhaps the X factor in all of this is how the drivers are integrated in the career mode. Hopefully, it's more than a few recycled messages, as this aspect of the sport hasn't been all represented in the past video games, but it is one that help this helps set this iteration apart. So meaning that they wanted a in-depth career mode for a while, which we couldn't get because we had the Technics that constantly made a same shit different game thing. And NASCAR 9, NASCAR 8 didn't really have that good of a like in depth either. So I think that Monster Games and 704 Games wanted to do something different than the rest of the games and try to see if they cannot top all those games, but somehow sideways it so they can be able to see how well their NASCAR games can get for the first time in many years, because we all been waiting for a better career mode, and this is something that they're trying their hard on, I guess, and that hopefully we can try to feel like we're drivers in a racing career mode and be like someone that we're not, which we're not really race car drivers. So I think they're trying to give us the feel and try to do their best so we can be able to have a fun racing game for once because we all wanted to have a good career mode again, and it's been a while since we had it. So hopefully this is something that they will improve for once. So all that said, I'm gonna show you right to the video and then maybe give some explanation afterwards and then see where we go from there.
You know, every year we try to improve it and make the game more and more authentic. To do a great job is not just one thing, it's getting thousands of details right.
We're really excited about career mode, not just because we added 2 new series, but also how you do on the racetrack will determine what kind of contracts you get and how much money you get from the various sponsors and which teams you'll be able to ultimately drive for.
The whole experience was really motivated by discussion when we had a chance to talk with some of the NASCAR drivers. And they described what the experience was like to start out as a new driver and break into the series, break into the first time they race. And so we kind of modeled the whole experience after that.
One of the things that we wanted to model was how it feels to be a driver when somebody comes to you and says, hey, we're going to offer you a new sponsorship on a new team and what that might feel like to leave the current team that you're on. We also wanted somebody who really liked the team they're on to be able to stay within that team. So as you get better, the team you're on gets better.
We're really excited this year to have Brad Kozlowski involved in aiding our development. And one of the things we did early on was show him what we're planning to do for career mode and what it was like. And he was able to kind of give us some guidance and suggest some features. One of them that we're really excited about is this idea of momentum.
From week to week, if a driver is able to successfully race well and return home with his car intact without damaging it, the team can then therefore focus on improving that car from week to week rather than rebuilding cars for the driver. Having momentum improves basically the equipment that you get to race with.
This idea of momentum is really critical to, a team in real life, and so we wanted to model that in our career mode.
In the real world, drivers have to make a decision every time they hit the track. How they drive and how they treat their fellow racers on the track have real world implications.
You start running some guys off the track and you start really being aggressive or overly aggressive with a couple different drivers, from race to race. You'll get feedback from real life drivers telling you, hey, you gotta cut it out there. You're developing some enemies.
Your rough driving is starting to make a few enemies out there. You might want to be careful.
As time goes on, you develop sort of on-track rivalries with a couple other drivers who will race you really aggressively.
Rivalries will make your experience in your career more difficult.
People always want to sort of take their own car and make it their own, and so we have a system in place that allows somebody to change up a base car and add, stripes and a bunch of different logos and stickers on it so they can take something that they might think is cool and make it a car they can drive in the game.
Essentially, for each series, a player can come into the custom car setup and create their own look through decals and essentially create their own visual identity.
NASCAR Heat 2 arrives September 12th. Pre-order now at NASCARheat.com.
So after that video, I have about 2 small concerns and then one cool thing. So let's start with the 2 bad and then end it with the good. So the worst was I saw when the guy was talking about the driver being mad at you and stuff. That guy was intentionally driving with the wall, but the physics didn't look right. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, when you if you take the driver and drive him up the wall, it looked like he was smacking the other way, leftward, like crazy, like a maniac, which didn't seem right to me. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Let me know if that physics should be concerning or not. But I know that most of the other physics look good, not great, but okay, so somewhat polished. The next was, I saw one with that, I believe, Bristol. One looks like a Bristol track, and it didn't look like it was day or night. It looked like a sunlit track, like the sun was shining on the track, but if you look at the sky, it looked dark. I could be wrong there too, so I don't know. That was just my small concerns, but again, if I can be able to just race the game fine, then that shouldn't bother me. And the next was the paint scheme. Everybody's been asking about paint scheme, so I wanted to address that a little bit. So the paint scheme part, you would be able to adjust the driver's like adjust the driver's real paint scheme looks like, and then you could add or do some different stripes. I believe he was saying either way, it's kind of cool. And what if that we could be able to use that for the custom scheme in career mode? That's what I think it was. You might be able to get a career scheme and then change it around for your career car. Which, if that is what the case is, that's something super like cool for once. How we can have a real Xfinity truck or cup scheme, and then you can change it up a little bit to make it look like a special edition for one race, like you see some drivers do at some tracks. So that was just my little flaws and outtakes of it. But yeah, other than that, looks like we are good for today. And please like this video if you enjoyed it. I will link the description. I'll put the link in the description of the article by Game Informer, so please check them out. Um, Subscribe if you're new, because I'll be doing some more of this. And that's all I got for you guys today. And thank you for watching, and have a nice day, guys. Peace.